Uh, Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all for the first day session of this short-term training program on recent trends in IT. So now, what I'm going myself, Santosh Jadhav. I'm working as associate professor in information technology here, information technology in FMT itself. So I'm going to cover that data exploration. Now, first thing that one can very easily guess that whenever you think about the data, even you can guess about whenever you exchange the data, what you required for your NB and NAC, also it is in the form of a spreadsheet, right? So most of the time, the data which is processed by using the data we need to process, which is in the form of spreadsheet. That might be the CSV format or that might be the Excel format. And one more thing I want to tell you, most of the time it is so, but it's not necessary that the data is always in the form of the spreadsheet. It can be the raw format containing of the scratch recording of the black box of our aeroplane also, or the so much textual data also. But finally, whenever it's a question of organize the data in a proper form, usually we put it in the form of a spreadsheet and then we apply the analytics on it. So here in this session, I'm going to cover that how to read this huge data set present in a spreadsheet. And in the first part, and then I'm going to explain you how we can visualize the data, how this Python can be used to find the important statistical features of this large data which is present in the form of spreadsheet. Now just move further and to the Python itself. Okay, let me tell you, this Python is not the only one language. There are the two important language players in the market which can be used for the data analytics. That is the Python and the R programming. Those who have the interest in the object-oriented programming, where in Python already the libraries have been implemented and developed, which are useful to work it, or useful to facilitate the data analytics on the larger data set. But why people move for the R programming sometimes? This is because those who don't want to have work on the object-oriented programming, they go for the R programming, where R is a more or procedural kind of thing. Now here our major concern is data exploration by using Python. So the first we'll start with the we'll open the Python and directly have a hands on it. Sir, फुल स्क्रीन केलं नाही का? Okay. Now let me give you the very small introduction of Python. It's a Python is specifically the interpreter based language. It's not the compiler. Just line by line execution is there. So as most of the interpreter based languages have the prompt, and why the prompt is required, if you want to write the entire program at once, you can open the new file and write the sequence of the statements and here execute it at once, no issue. But if you want to execute line by line also, means one line, x is equal to 5, y is equal to 8, then z is equal to x plus y here. So like this, one statement at a one time can also be the executed. So while teaching, that's it's the base, it's the better option. That is, you can do the statement by statement at the prompt, and you can explain what are the important features of this session. Okay. Now, now, now let's move forward for how to read Excel file. How to read Excel file in a Python. Okay, for that we'll do one thing. I have created here the one Excel file here named as a test. Actually, in fact, it is a CSV file. It can be opened in the Excel also, comma separated values, or I will open it in the notepad. So you can open it in a simple notepad also. So this is a comma separated. Yes, serial name, age, gender, then is the serial and all successive values. I can say it as a record. So first line acts as the column names of that, and from the second line onwards, just the values of that, and everything will be separated by the comma. So we call it as a comma separated values. We'll start with a very simple file, comma separated values. And if you want to visualize that, you can open it in the Excel also, and it will look in the Excel in the same way as other normal Excel file looks like. Now we will do one thing. We will read this file in a Python. Now in a Python, to read such kind of Excel or the CSV file, it's not available as a part of, or as a part of core Python. That facility is not available. Means for that, the first thing, you should have the package uh, installed. One package that is important is the pandas, that stands for the panel data. It is the acronym short form of this pandas. Now already I have installed here the pandas. That's why when I if I import the pandas, import pandas as PD. Means I can only see the use the import pandas, and whenever I want to use the pandas or the functions in this module pandas, I can use pandas dot. But every time to write as the pandas dot, it is better import pandas as PD. And every time you say PD dot utter. Now we have imported this package pandas. So I have already installed, but at the same time, let me tell you, this would have been given the error if the pandas wouldn't have been installed it here. For that, I will do one thing. I will intentionally uninstall pandas, and I will just introduce you. I will just tell you what will happen if the required package is not installed and if you try to import that. So the installation and uninstallation of any Python packages, that always done at the command prompt. At the command prompt, and you don't have the specific current working directory or anything as such here directly. So the commands to, okay, first intentionally I am giving the command pip uninstall pandas. I'm uninstalling first, pip uninstalling pandas. Okay, I may not demonstrate it for every time for other packages, but being this is the first package that we are dealing with the data set or the data which is in the form of spreadsheet. So first I will uninstall it. I have uninstalled it. And in this situation, if we start the Python, we try to import the pandas, import pandas as PD, it is giving a error because pandas have not installed. So at the prompt, the way I use the pip uninstall actually, usually we know don't uninstall intentionally because whenever we require the package we install it. But this is just to demonstrate it. If the package is not available, what happens? So I will use pip install pandas. Now, after that, the from the repository, from the online remote repository and the mirrors which might be present here or somewhere, or from this Python Free Software Foundation's repository, it will install, and finally it will take time definitely. Actually, it is the recursive acronym Python install packages. Python install packages, PIP, and it's when I explore or expand it, it itself says what exactly it does. It's called as the recursive acronym. Yes, yes, yes. You don't have to even mention the mirror. Normally, when we mention the mirror while installing packages in other programming languages, here just say the pip install. And important thing is whichever the latest one. It will take wherever it is the updation is done in the latest time. That it will fetch it from there and install it on our system machine. So I have to wait for that, and after some time, here clearly, here successfully installed pandas. So 1.4.8 is the latest one. So it itself search for the mirror or the repository and it install it. Now I don't think now import pandas as PD. Now there won't be any error. See, next prompt automatically appeared and pandas package has been installed now, and we have imported its required module. We have imported by the name of PD in our workspace here. And another one important thing, don't get confused, because normally we say the Python program. Now don't think that where is the program. Whatever the sequence of statement I put it here, you can very easily open the new file and put it one after the other and run at once. That also you can do. But for the here explanation purpose, as this session is going on, I am explaining it one statement by statement how it does. But finally you can put it all together and have a one program at once. But being interpreter, that freedom I can exploit. That one statement by statement I can execute it at the prompt. Now I have now this pandas package as PD. Now whether I'm typing my program here or in the script or entire program, PD dot, just wait for some time, and whatever the required the functionalities that it offers, it can display it here. So, or you can search it also. PD, it's the question of read. So read clipboard, read CSV, read Excel, read feather, read FWF, read now read HTML, read JSON, read pickle, and what not. That many formats it can read, that many formats of the data it can read, and you can use it in your Python workspace. Now we'll do one thing now. Here this test, this comma separated values file test.csv right now, which is in the STTP folder of C colon. Now I will do one thing. Uh, FR. Okay, I will tell you why I have given the name FR to this variable. FR is equal to PD dot read CSV, and I sorry read underscore CSV, and I am going to read this CSV file test.csv. Now it's giving error. Why the error is there? Because right now its current working directory is something else, whatever the default directory is there. And my all this program and or what this I want to have my current working directory as a STTP where I have stored this test.csv. So for that I required another one module named OS, and that I need to import it. Now there is a difference. Whenever I try to import the pandas, I install it and import it because pandas is not a part of core Python. But when it's the question of import OS, I could import because it's a part of core Python but not available by default. So here OS dot get CWD, that stands for the get current working directory. This is my current working directory and not the STTP in which I have stored this. So I can change it os.chdir and I can make it C colon STTP. I'm going to make it current working directory. Now, if I check os dot get cwd, now this is my current working directory, and now I will be able to say fr is equal to pd dot read underscore csv test dot csv. Now I read, because CSV is the comma separated values, Excel kind of spreadsheet is there. Now I read this in my Python domain, and in my Python domain I read it in the variable or the name EFR. Now EFR, I'm going to display it. You can observe it the way I have stored it here. Serial number, name, age. Now row index automatically it specifies, and this acts as a column indices, that is serial, name, age, sender. Now, type. Actually, really speaking, I was about to explain it to you, and it is a good thing that the curiosity is from your side only. I was about to speak about that. Now, the important thing here, that what I was going to tell you, normally in many programming languages you used to have this kind of data structures, like okay, basic primary data types like int, float, double, char, string, and so on and so forth, and some extended data types like array, list, some vectors or whatnot. Those are the data types. Now, can anybody tell me, among these data types, is there any data type which will help us to imitate the data structure we use in the DBMS? No, no. Directly the main primary data types among that. Because if you think of the database, it is just like a records. Like it has specific column names and it has the records. Many people might think, okay, the matrix is the best thing because matrix is the records, or and in each row you can have the different records. But here one thing you people are missing. What about the column index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and not SR name, age, and gender. SR name, age, and gender. These are not the, because, and this data type that's available in Python, this is available in R programming also. Here itself in front of you, we will check what that data type is all about. Type FR, the statement to check. What this data type is, the data frame, which helps us to imitate the standard data types in a Python. Such kind of data frame is in the R programming also. So now I'll do one thing. In case whatever the first column, if you want to use this first column as an index, if you want to use this first column as an index, then this as an index columns, you don't want this index column of this fr exclusively added by the Python, right? For that it is very easy. The same statement, that is you can use it. Fr is equal to period dot read csv, and here you can specify index underscore call is equal to 0. Now look at the data frame. The row index what is added by the Python has been removed, and very first column acts as the index now. Now I will use both here. Firstly, this one, this is my fr data frame. Now fr dot at, if you want to mention address each individual element separately, what I am going to do, 1 comma 3, 1 comma square bracket, your name. So this is the Sangeeta, because this one is the index exclusively added by the Python, and name is the in case of column index, I am using directly the name, that the term, that whatever the names of the columns, so that you can have it. Or similarly, fr dot add specifically 2 comma suppose gender, yum, to gender. This is the yum. Now I'll do one thing, same kind of thing, but I will exclude this. I don't want to use the index column to be added by the Python. So index underscore because why this facility they have given, sometimes when your data is present in the form of the Excel or any other spreadsheet, first column not necessary to be the serial number. In that case, you can use index underscore, or you don't use index underscore call is equal to 0. Directly it add the column index from its side. But if the first column is the serial number kind of thing, and directly if you want to address each and every record through this, then index underscore call is equal to 0, and this is now the fr. For example, in this case, when I say fr dot at 1 comma name, it give me the Sangita. Now what it will give, it will give Ganesh now, because first column serial, and it starts with the 1, starts with the 1. Okay, this is the addressing kind of thing. Okay. Or sometimes, or if you want to address entire column only, for example, I want to display the access the ages, fr age, all ages, it will return another one, it will return you another one data frame with only one column of the values, these ages. This is the way how individual you can address. Okay. For element addressing, that will sit. But now here, this is in case of CSV, but sometimes the data might be present in the form of Excel. Means one example I have stored it here. Okay, here itself we will do one thing. The same file, that the test.csv, test.csv, we will open it in the open with the Excel. Okay, CSV file can also be opened in the Excel. But so far as the CSV files are concerned, this can't have the multiple sheets in your Excel. It can have the multiple sheets, only one sheet. Okay, but we'll do one thing. We will save it. Save as in STTP itself. We will save it as test one, and we will save it as a standard Excel format. Excel workbook, right? Excel workbook, and we will save it. Now I can add some another sheets into it. For example, sheet 1, and suppose here I can have the uh, role, suppose role, and here I have suppose name, age, gender, here 1 2 3 4. Okay, this is just to I am telling you how to deal with the Excel workbook also, which has the multiple sheets into that. Excel workbook which has the multiple sheets into it. And here, okay, we will take only 3 records over here. Now here I will tell you, just an example. Just an example. I am saving it. Now how to access? Now I have the test one dot. Its extension is Excel has might have added to it. XLSM. Excel. Just one sec. What this extension is all about? XLSX. XLSX. This one. Now, how to read that? How to read that? Here I will be using FR1 as if the frame 1 is equal to same model PD, that is a panda, dot read underscore Excel, read underscore Excel, and we will use that test1 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 dot xlsx, right? Test1 dot xlsx. Now here, first thing you have to specify the sheet name here, because it is the standard Excel format. It can have the multiple sheets. If you don't mention whichever the first one, will be read it from there. Now sheet underscore sheet underscore name is equal to here sheet 1. I think, is it a sheet 1? SHWT sheet 1. No, no. This name of the sheet. Huh. Not the order in which, it is not as per the order in which we created the sheet. It's the sheet 1. Now here sheet, here read that. One second. Just wait. What is the error here? Just wait. PD. No, no, wait. FR PD dot read Excel. Huh? No, 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 no. Name is also, we have test dot Excel SX, right? Or test one dot XLSX. Then second sheet name is equal to sheet 1. No, no, no. We have to take the name itself. Sheet 1. No, not necessary, sir. Even it can remain open also. Till there is no issue. We'll check that also. No, no, no. You have to specify. By default, to read Excel. By default, also it is not taking. Paste one dot XLS XLSX. paste one. Current working directory is fine. Um, Now this time it's asking, because of the latest upgradations, it is asking us to install one optional dependency, and which is the open PyXL. So as it is suggesting, we will go for that. Pip install open PyXL. Let's do that. Because it is a continuously evolving kind of thing, because we know it is open source. What yesterday we could do, some dependency might have been added after that, but still I feel the backward compatibility has to be there for everything. But because billions of people are working at same time, but fortunately it is replying you with the error message exactly what has been happened. So pip install, will go for that. Open PyXL. Successfully install. See, the moment we install this dependency, what later on they have added it to it. Now by default, whichever is the first in order, that has been opened. But here if you want, you can use the name of that also. Your sheet underscore name is equal to, we can provide sheet 1, and here is the, sorry, here is the fr1, whatever the sheet 1. Okay, by mistakenly here I had typed fr1, actually I have read. Okay, once again, for the, if you have any confusion, I'm going to read the sheet 1 now. Fr1, this is actually reading the sheet 1, while later on we have added into it. So this is the way how, even not necessary to with the very simple CSV, but the Excel format also, which have the multiple sheets into that workbook. Yes. Uh, no, no. Usually, see, there is something one format. Actually, whenever you merge the cell, it does the same thing as in case of merge cell. For example, see, I will explain it with the help of this one. Smaller means which is the leftmost or the topmost among that merge cell. This, for example, suppose if I merge from here to here, suppose if I merge it, and if I put it, suppose FMT, and here if I try to access, for example, B2, what is the left and topmost, very leftmost and topmost, it gives you the this one, 0. Me, because which is the smallest address, either column and or rows, that it will access that one. Same thing happened here also. But visually we think about the huge data set. Normally there is a something which is called as the data cleaning. Whenever such ambiguities are there, that needs to be very corrected at the earlier stage itself, and that phase is called as the data cleaning in case of the data analytics. Now as a part of data cleaning, okay, whatever you said, this is also one part of it. Make it proper at the beginning itself. And the most important that, okay, this is quite the smaller data set. Uh, just the names of the 3 4 names and the columns which are for the serial name, age, and the gender. But as a part of that NPTEL course, when I did it first time there, they have given us the spreadsheet, the CSV as well as Excel spreadsheet. They had, or in that, one data related to the bank was there, data related to the bank. And there are several lakhs, 20 or 25 lakhs of records were there of their customer, and columns are not only the name, age and gender, but their address and everything. Their columns are also 25 to 30 columns were there. In that case, the most important risk is not even this one. Suppose some data is missing. Imagine there are the 25 lakh records, and in one particular record randomly one particular aspect is missing, not even all, and that creates problems and spoils everything. How to deal with that? This is a major challenge in case of the data analytics. But here, only for the sake of understanding explanation, I am using quite smaller spreadsheet, that is the test and this test one, which has only hardly 3 4 records and some 3 2 3 columns are there. And that also I will explain you what is the data cleaning, how to deal with the null data values or the data values which are not there. Which was the smallest address, this will be appropriately in the merge, whatever it will show. For the remaining, blank, blank. Problem occurs when your the merge cells are there below. But normally, see, when you think about the larger data set, when you're the larger data set, visually such kind of merging and all these things are the either those, they expect it to be the recorrected properly and give the main focus on this larger set which is in the lakhs and crores. And even if it is there, for the rest of it will give the null, and that needs to be the corrected properly. Yes. How to access? It's a very easy. Now, okay, anyhow, actually, I was about to, I understood it, I understood. And normally it happens whenever there is a, okay, in this case, it is very easy. For example, I will address your question, sir. In this case, only there are, for example, okay, here there are only 4 records. How to access last one can very easily say, I will access it very easily, FR, for example. Okay, FR, which already we have read it earlier. FR dot add. I will mention four. Okay, four. You want to access the entire record. Okay, FR dot LOC, locational values. I want to access fourth record, and my columns doesn't matter. That is, I will use the colon. Sagar 25M. But I expect your question is something like this. It's all right, there are only 4 records, but there are suppose 10 lakh records, and I don't know in advance. Arre, 10 lakhs, wo kaun sa hai? Right. Now it's very easy. For the simplicity, I will use the same data frame is here. Now, FR dot tail. If I use the tail, actually see, actually last 4 or 5 records by default it gives it, and here by default there are 4 records, so it's giving all records. I will do one thing, FR dot tail. Now what this overloaded argument can have in the parenthesis, you can also tell me very easily if I want to access the last record. One last record. Last record. Actually, okay, I will do one thing. Anyhow, that I am expecting it to, or I have planned it to cover later on. But anyhow, there is a subject, as you are saying. I will do one thing. There is another one data set with me, and which is a diamond. Means diamond type, how many cuts are there, what is the optical features and all these things, names and all these. Okay, right now, better way we will analyze it, explore it now. Yes, sir. Last, it's a, sir, actually that I told you, because when I explained this one, because my FR is this one. Last is the gender, right? FR, FR. Okay, there are two ways. Either use the locational data, all rows, and gender like this, or FR directly gender. Right? Huh. Don't know the index of last column. Okay, 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 okay. You want to know the last column. See. The best thing is to go for the info, that it will give you the complete information, that there are the three columns: name, age, and gender is the last column which you want to access. Once you know that, you can very easily access that one. uh, Better to know it by getting the info and access it. आणि जर हे जर माहित नस, आणि if you, even if you don't know that also, okay, the basic thing is what, if there is a way to know it, better way to know it and access that. Am I right? Now you can use it. We say there are, okay, I will do one thing better. Fr dot, there are about several dozens of methods, and if you go on reading it, you can very easily see various methods, and it's not easier to know every all these methods at one go, because it might turn out to be the another course for that. But there are the count method, there are the methods for to get the dimension also, and once you get the dimension, you can use the second dimension to access the last column. You can use it very easily. Okay, in the bottom line, what I can say is, in a Python, if they have developed this object for us, that object has the methods or the member functions to get everything, to apply everything, to analyze everything. And getting the dimensions or getting other information, just such a basic information is the basic thing. So those methods are there, you can get it very easily out of that. Okay. Now I will do one thing. Anyhow, this getting head and tail, anyhow, we have started this subject. So this diamond, we will read the diamond.csv. It is in the CSV form. So I will say data or the diamond frame. Diamond frame. I will give the name diamond frame. Oh, okay. DF. Let me be a short. DF is equal to PD dot read underscore CSV diamond dot CSV, comma, let's not use, or let's that Python not to provide the row index for that, index column for that. So index underscore call is equal to 0, and this is my DF. Now here creates the problem, because if you look at here, how many fields are there? Few I can read it: caret, cut, color, clarity, depth, table, price, X, Y, Z, and so on and so forth. I don't know. This space is not enough to display all. And similarly, one can I can understand where I displayed the DF. There are 53,940 records are there. Those are the cut, the kind of cut, ideal, premium, good, ideal. This kind of things are there. Clarity, the way most of the information is related to the diamond. So those people are, so only jewelers can understand it. What exactly is this one? So in this case, I don't know how many fields are there. So in that case, you can apply fr dot tail, last four fields, and fr dot are df df dot tail. Here it is displaying last five fields by default, and over that one overloaded, I can overload it with this two, last two fields. Are df dot tail last two fields. Not just that, if you want to go for the first few fields or first few not field records, that also df dot instead of tail use the head, first five, and similarly df dot head the first two, first three, first four, on first more than five also, because its main purpose of overloading this head and tail function is this one only, that you can use it. And whatever this head and tail return, it is in itself is the another one data frame. So whatever the member methods of the data frames are applicable on that also. So you can exploit it, the feature of or strength of the data frame data type, which is provided by the Python. Here again. Huh. Yes, you can give it. For example, see, uh, I will do one thing, FR, and it's as easy as, see, data underscore frame is equal to FR. Sorry, data underscore frame frame is equal to EFR. So data underscore frame is another one. It's another one copy, as good as a variable. So if you are using the data frame, if you use the pandas, and if you use the data frame by using pandas, it is just like the simple. No, even in array also there is an indexing kind of thing. Simple data type, as I can say, as a type of structure in C and C++. One can be assigned to other. We can work on one. We can work with the other. Huh. Definitely. Here I will show you. No, no. I'll use it. I'll no no. Here in this case, fr dot tail, fr dot tail. So as I said, whatever it returns is itself is the frame. काय नाही हे वापरा ना. आणि याच्यातलं कोणतं म्हणताय तुम्ही? ठीक आहे. ऍक्च्युअली देर आर मेनी ऑप्शन्स, आय एम टेलिंग यू. अरे राईट ना. हा थ्री थ्री ऍक्च्युली मला सेकंड लास्ट म्हणजे टू वापरायचं होतं. बाय मिस्टेक आय यूज द थ्री. I can use it. So there is a full flexibility either in vertical direction and the horizontal direction by using the various methods. And believe me, I just we just explored here only 10% of the functionalities of the data frame. If you go on exploring it more, you will find it more easier than this one also. More easier than this. Means for example, here I will tell you right now my frame is this one, and I want to create the another one frame. I want to create another one frame containing those records whose ages are more than 20. More than 20 means only I should get the record of Ganesh, Mahesh and Sagar, but not the Sangita, because whose age is the 20. So I can use this fr age greater than 20. See, read it carefully. This is the index of FR. And what as the index I am using? FR age greater than 20. So it will create FR2, suppose. It will create another frame FR2 that contains the records of only Ganesh, Mahesh and Sagar whose ages are greater than 20. It's possible. Any question? It's a very good idea to have the to explain, go ahead with the question and answer rather than just one way, it's going one way, I'm telling. Is all right? Now, okay, let me tell you, it is not just Excel and this one. Even text file also can be read because sometimes text file, but here in text file you have to mention here. You have to mention because to read the text file, it is a read underscore table method is there because table is in the text. Is for example, I will do one thing. Here the text, I will open it by the notepad and see here I will use the tab. I will use the tab, and here also I will, but whatever the delimiter or okay, whatever the separator you are using in the header row, you have to maintain the same in the records also, record fields also. Tab, 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 tab. Here it is a tab, tab, and here also tab, tab, tab. Just tab. I hope it is a tab only, na? Okay, tab. Now I will save it as by not by the same name. I will save it by the txt. Now I will give the name my data dot txt dot txt. Now, if you have this kind of records, means not the comma separated, but the tab separated by textual field. So, in that case, you can do one thing. Instead of, okay, we have seen only read CSV, read Excel. Like this, I can have, uh, I will use the FR itself again, pd dot read underscore table, read underscore table. Now, what is the name of that? My my data, my data dot txt. What is fr? The tab. By default it takes the tab, but besides tab, if you want to use any other data, sometimes what happens, maybe for the reason of encrypting the data or some other reason that people should not get. So if certain text, our table in our text file, certain character we never use anywhere, means not in the part as a part of this main data, and we can use that as a separator rather than tab. That also you can do it, and for that, I won't explain it here because it is a very simple thing. There you have to use, for example, if I want to use the dollar sign as a separated instead of tab, then I have to use sep is equal to, instead of that, means in case I would have used here instead of this tab dollar as a separated, not just here, every year if I would have used it, then I would have to use here dollar as a, sorry, not depth, separated, separator this one. So this is the way how you can read table from either Excel file or CSV file or from the text tables. Now we will do one thing. Uh, Separator. Huh. Double tab. uh, okay, it is a very good thing that okay, what will happen, and with that I will raise another one concern also here, null values. आता आपण करू, विल डू दॅट हिअर. आता इथं इथंच झालंय, ते इथंच हिअर इट सेल्फ इट हॅपन राईट. अजून एक टॅब देतो. ऍक्च्युअली टोटल हाऊ मेनी टॅब्स आर देअर? 2 tabs are there, and we will read that and let's see what happens. See, from after Sagar, there is one tab and there is another tab. 2 tabs are there, and we will read it here. Actually, what's happening, here basically one of the row is having the more records here, means my.txt. Actually, I was about to explain that also. I will do one thing. See, after Sagar, there is one tab. After that, another one tab. There is a null value for age. Null value for the age. And that exactly I am going to explain it here. What is that? Null value. Because Sagar Aber, there is was a tab. After that, there was nothing, empty. So what is the meaning of empty? Null value. After that, there is the mail. And same thing happens in case the certain cell is suppose, okay, this is a normal text file, but if you are reading the Excel file and in that data set certain cell is empty, then in that place it will be the null value, not a number. Now here, त्याला actually we can convert, okay, type. Because one null is the object, and that is showing the float. Null is the float, not a number is the float. It is considered. Now others are again by default typecasted into the a float. That might be reason. Now here the important thing. I will do one thing. Not just this one. Here also. Here also I will keep one null value for the second record. There are two null values here and here. Now what will happen if I try to find out the mean of age? It will give me the error. How can you calculate the mean? Okay, in fact, while finding that, there is a separate arguments are there. We can ask it to ignore the null. Okay, this facility is always there. But sometimes it is not the question of simply age, because of one null value, null is the wrong value. One wrong value, it affects on the analytics, because finally when you do the analytics is based on the statistics of and every record plays a major role. Maybe that statistics maybe for the self correcting or the self learning or this kind of thing, that will create the problem. So one way is what? And null values, the record containing the null values are only few, but that might create the problem for other results. So best way is what to do? Drop null values, and the dropping null value is the very easy. It's directly here. I have the fr drop. Okay, huh? But before that, important thing, आता इथं आपल्याला दिसतंय की ह्याच्यामध्ये नल आहेत, पण ते डायमंडचं जे रेकॉर्ड आपण कशात केलं आपण ते डीएफ. आता डीएफ इफ आय डिस्प्लेड, आता ह्यातली कुठं नल ओळखता? 53,940. It's very but okay, I will apply this here once. df.info. df.info. काय carrot 53,940 non-null. Okay, total 53,940 records. From dimension I can give it. So carrot non-null and of type float 64. Cut. So here if you observe it here, so info gives me the name of all column names or what features are there of that particular data type. And that feature, how many values are there, non-null values are there, and of what type. So if you observe it here, total records are 53,940. And here caret, cut, color, clarity, depth, table, price, X, Y, Z. I don't know what is X, Y, Z in the diamond. But all are 53,940 non-null values or objects are there. It means how many null values are there? Zero. But this won't happen if I try to do it with the fr.info. Read kara. Four non-null, two non-null, four non-null. One can very easily understand there are two null values in the age. And that might create a problem for our the remaining analytics. But now what to do? We have to do it, we have to check, we have to remove that. So it's a very easy, it's not the rocket science. FR drop any, drop on the value. Only those records which containing the non-null values that we can retrieve it from that data set, and we can apply our analytics only on that and ignore our others will be removed. In fact, here FR is same, so we have to do FR, I may say clean. One of the way to clean it, removing the null values. FR dot drop any, and here FI underscore clean this, and this you can apply on, and these functions are important when you know very larger data set. It's not just for, this is for the explanation purpose. But suppose you have such a lakhs of records, it is very difficult to find out where is the null. So you can drop, yeah, yes. After cleaning, that row index is maintaining as it was earlier. Row index? Row index. Ah. 0 and 2. So we are having normal values. After cleaning also, so put it after our calculations. See, we can take the serial, we can take after calling and drop any function. Okay. I don't think. I don't think. FR, okay. Now, no. Now, really speaking, okay, whenever we read from the file, or in ignore or the not to use the index column by the Python, that option we can do it by using index underscore call is equal to 0. But when your new clean frame is created, so in this case what is happening, because here see new clean frame created is a fr underscore clean, but original is fr 0. Actually, while reading itself, if we would have done index underscore call is equal to 0, okay, we will do it now. We will do it now. Sir, even in that case, the second column which is happening right now, that would be which one? So this can become index. But still, instead of 0 and 2, we will take that one end. That will be the only case. Instead of 0 and 1? Instead of 0 and 2, which are the indices right now, it will take one entry as well. Still the problem is same, the migration is same. Index number 2 is now totally gone. I expect that or it should be something that will be number. Instead of 1, 3, that should take 1, 2 in the clean manner. No, 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 no. No, I am telling you. Here, the basic mistake we have done while reading the Excel file itself. In that, it would have mentioned. In this case, you would have because right now this SR is not an index. SR is the data part of the data column. And why this happened? This happened because this happened because while reading that, see, sir, see, while reading that, Hope we had mentioned index underscore call is equal to 0, and now basic FR itself, the first column is used as a index for indexing, and we are not asking the Python explicitly to add the index column. No, no, no. Now first, now what will happen? I will do the same process. FR underscore clean is equal to FR dot drop NA. Now FR underscore clean. No, no. Underscore clean. No, no. FR. Okay, basically it was a part of data. First column was a part of data. Uh, uh, that's why it might be, but hope for that also renaming of the index or reindexing can be possible. I have not yet used it. I have not yet used it, but let's check it because Python is a quite huge. For everything there is a solution. Is dot just wait it. Reindex should have been reindex. No, no. Reindex. One second. Let's see the help now. The help now. Labels is equal to no, index is equal to SR. I don't think it will give error, it seems. Wait, wait. Here, but sir, in place named argument is not there at all. Okay, we have to explore it more. Now, what? But definitely there must be a solution. Uh, in that case, better way to use the its index, Python's index, and avoid using index underscore call is equal to 0. Automatically, Python's index it will use it. Now, in that case, even if none values we drop, till it will maintain it from the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is better. But still, if you want to see here, whatever we are no, no, what we are expecting is now, no, no, we are expecting now, which is actually originally a part of data named SR, and we are expecting it to rename from 1 to 3 4 rather than 1 to 3. So probably, huh, 1 and 3 it is maintaining serial number, it is maintaining. हाँ हाँ, 0 and no 0 and 1. हाँ, that also 0 1 2 here. No, wait. We'll do it from the beginning. Okay. Let us do that exploration now. Data exploration. This is FR, right? FR underscore clean is equal to FR dot drop in. FR underscore clean. No. You are right. That is also 0 and 2. That we expect it to be the. But here, right now, in this time, we not be able to explore it exactly what that method is there. But I'm sure Python has a solution for everything for the reindexing. Reindexing. Your question is right. No, one second. Actually, तेवढीच आहे तशीच बघ बघतो बघतो सर सर या फार क्लीन ओके ओके सर हा व्हॉट मॅम इज सेइंग युजली नो नो सर मॅमचं मत युजली ज्यावेळेस ह्यूज डेटा सेट असतो ना रिअरली वी रिक्वायर टू गो ॲट अ स्पेसिफिकली सेल व्हॅल्यू ऑर जस्ट वन रेकॉर्ड कारण because in that we want to do the analytics for whole data rather than the single value. Single value or the single record is not a concern at all. But still, whatever you are asked, really there is just some Python मध्ये होणार ते. In Python. No, that definitely clean ची जी शेवटची आहे त्याची होईल नो नो इश्यू two non-null, right? Because null value have been dot tail one करतो because I want to last one value. Am I right, Bide sir? ती झाली शेवटची right value, which was a non-null. तर fr underscore clean Mahesh. It has nothing to do with what it maintains the index here. Hmm. Hmm? Re-index. No. No, no, just do one thing. We'll do one thing. We'll take the help. Help fr underscore clean dot Okay, another one thing, in case of Python, you can take the help contextually. Where whatever going on, you can put it inside the help function, and you can get the help on that. For example, here I want to see what that index is all about. You show me. कसं
df1 dot reindex, and then we will tell them what reindex we want. So we can give 0 comma 1, and then accordingly it will give, like they have given bdac, so it is showing bdac.
Now the
That
problem,
will be
no,
very
problem which is काय काय कसं आहे मॅडम तुम्ही fr underscore clean dot
dot
which method is that?
reindex
Reindex,
index, uh,
and another one
opens a round bracket, then
round
open
or what?
both, and then put your 0 1 comma 0
0 comma 1.
1.
No, fr ऐवजी ft झालं. 0 1. Actually, sir, madam, it is not for the reindexing, it seems. Index number 1, no record, so not null values. Okay, let's altogether all of we will explore that. Anyhow, this is the data exploration. नाही ओरिजिनल नाही चेंज झाला तो. नाही म्हणून 0 आणि 1 इंडेक्स यायला पाहिजे. fr underscore clean dot okay. Okay, okay. Okay, we'll go further with just the introduction of how various statistical values can be obtained or statistical values can be extracted from the data. For that, we will do one thing. Let us use the again larger data set, that is a diamond. So FR is equal to, we'll do one thing, read underscore CSV uh, diamond dot CSV index and PD dot right. PD dot read CSV index call is equal to 0. So here this is the FR dot info. This is the information about 53,940, and these are the objects: cut, color, clarity. Objects means string type objects, because you can observe it here also. FR, cut, color, and clarity. Those are the string type. On other are values, either float or int or such kind of values. Now sometimes if you want to take okay, you always required what is the mean, median, or what various statistical values of the certain. Means, for example, if you want to have what is the mean of price, or what is the mean of price, means prices can be as low as 325 rupees and as maximum as, okay, that. But such kind of what is minimum, what is maximum, what is median value, what is the variance, this kind of analytics. For that, because this is very important statistical analytics which is required for that, so there is a different package which is called as a numpy, numpy. So import. Now I have already numpy as np. Rather than writing every time numpy dot, let us write the np. We will import it as a np. So numpy, this also module by default not available and neither a part of core Python. You have to install it. So NumPy is already installed. The same thing, what procedure you use, pip install NumPy, here also you have to use it. Then you will be able to import this. Now I will do one thing, np dot mean, np, okay, but I will show you np dot, just wait for some time, and the list of the method that it has, max, mean, angle, uh, GCD, and whatnot. Okay, there are so many methods. Rather than we'll use me dot mean. Mean. What mean you have to take? Mean of FR's price value. So by spelling wise, we have to be very correct here. Case and spelling price. Mean is 3,000. Okay, there might be the larger value, there might be the smaller, but the mean price is the 3,932 rupees or dollar, whatever. Don't know from where that larger data set have been, we have got this. So NumPy stands for the numerical Python. All statistical values, all mathematical computations can be done by using this NumPy package. Similarly, NP dot, suppose if you want variance, then FR price, variance of price. So this is the variance of price. Actually, variance gives the squared value. That's why the larger. And if you want the standard deviation, NP dot square root of variance, which exactly gives you in the same unit as in which unit that price is there. Dot standard deviation, or we will do one thing, NP dot, yes, NP dot SQRT of NP dot var price for the standard deviation 3989 standard deviation. I mean, whatever the mean value, spread from the mean value, that gives us how is the spread. Either those are narrowed around the mean or spread around the mean. That exactly the standard deviation gives us. And not just that, some other statistical. See, uh, everything. I mean, numerical Python, almost all statistical, basic mathematical, numerical kind of everything they have covered. Means, for example, if you want the GCD of two numbers, that's also possible. np.gcd, you just provide the two number, it will give you the GCD. And whatever you are speaking, right now I'm not understanding. But if it is the core mathematical, whatever the concept, for that it supports. It will, no problem, no problem. All everything as NP or NumPy, and use NumPy everywhere, NumPy. But it is the usual universal practice wherever you see the NumPy as NP, Pandas as PD, and Matplotlib or PyPlot as PLT. Because this has become as a standard, even though not documented as a standard protocol. Now, to introduce you about the one of the visualization, data visualization. So we will do one thing. For that, you require the package matplotlib. Matplotlib. Here I have already installed the matplotlib. If not, you have to keep install matplotlib. I have already installed import matplotlib dot. It has the sub modules also. It has the imports matplotlib. Here import matplotlib dot. Just wait for some time. What sub modules it has? There are the various sub modules. Very, I mean, has its own meaning to visualize. But one important required one sub module pyplot as PLT. Import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. And very simple, let us plot x versus or x versus price. Then PLT dot plot x FR frame x comma, this is the x axis I want to keep, FR price. It is taking time because there are about 54,000 records. Okay, and now PLT dot show. PLT dot show. Very complicated. Okay, rather than that, I will do one thing. I will do one thing. X is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And y is equal to 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, and you use this one PLT dot plot x comma y and PLT dot show. And like this, there are various scatter plot, box plot, histogram. This, for example, this frame FR. If you want to see the histogram of price, that will give us the idea of exactly how are the prices. Means whether large number of diamonds are of the low prices or the high prices, or uniformly distributed. So that also can be done. PLT dot hist PLB.hist FR price and PLT.show. Here, among these records, okay, uh, here one can very easily say the prices varies from maybe 0 to 25, 2500. Here it will be 1200, some 700 rupees or some 200 rupees to about 18,000 rupees. These are the prices. But if you look at that, most of are of low prices from 0 to 7,500. And there are very less diamonds categories which are of low prices. The histogram. It has its own mathematical meaning, and not just these histograms, these different plots which are required for the research or any other purpose. For example, many people many times they think about the box plot. That also PLT dot box plot PLT dot box plot. I want to draw the box plot of price itself. Yeah, far price and PLT dot show. There are certain values which are outbound. Okay, I will do one thing. I will take a simple example here rather than that one. I will do the x is equal to normal. Suppose and PLT dot box plot x and PLT dot show. This 32 is considered to be the outliers. The same thing happening here also because one value we had taken. Okay, this is very good thing because most of the values are between 0 to 12. So this has considered this 32 as an outlier, abnormal value. So this helps us to understand how many outliers are there in our data. Now, better, okay, to explain it, I will do one thing. I won't take the outlier here, but rather than some normal data, I'll work with the normal data. And PLP dot show. So this such kind of box plot. Now we have taken the box plot of what? This value of x 5342. It hardly matters whether it is sorted or what. But what information this gives us? Uh, Values of quartiles, medians, mean and max. Quartiles. So here this is the mean value. What is the minimum value? You can observe it here. Minimum value in this data set is the 2. Okay, here intentionally I have taken very smaller data, but usually this kind of thing is to be applied on the larger data where it is not easy to identify exactly. But in order to understand, 2 is the minimum and the maximum is 15. Right. Now this is a first quartile, second quartile and third quartile. First quartile, that indicates 25% of the values are less than 4. Second quartile, 50% values are less than 6. Third quartile, 75% are values are less than 8.25 or something. Here, if I see this level, right? And this is the max. Max I can say 100% or the fourth quartile. Fourth quartile is means 100% values are less than 16, 15, whatever its level is there. So this gives us an idea of overall data. Okay, right now in this situation, the data I know hardly there are 7 8 values are there. But in larger data values, if there are the 1 lakh records, this box plot helps me to identify how data is scattered. Okay, so this is the way how to deal with the larger data sets present in the form of either any kind of spreadsheets how to find out various statistical values, how to visualize it. And so far as visualization is concerned, only 2 3 plots we have seen, but not necessary that it is not even 1% of what total features of this matplotlib and this numpy is there. The python is much bigger than this one. Now I will end it here with the hope that everybody will explore it more than this one in this all this whatever we have seen it now. Thank you very much, madam. Okay, stop. Okay, I will stop this live live.